All right, so this is probably my favorite side of the tiny house is that we got the TV and stuff over here, which is pretty cool. We have electricity running all throughout the building, which is even cooler. But I have like my bed set up here, so I kind of put it up out of the way so that it doesn't really block anything. The lofts right now are a little bit too short for us to put the bed up there. So I do have the plywood for me to extend the lofts so that you can put a full-size bed up there. But right now, we're just making do with what we got. I also have a couple chairs in here, nothing really too fancy or anything else like that. The big thing that we have right now is that this is dry. So it's pretty nice being out of the elements, staying a little bit warm, even though that the stove doesn't work. But when it gets really rainy and windy during those fall, winter nights, it makes it a lot nicer being able to be in here and not have to deal with any of that stuff. I mentioned the stove before. This is probably my least favorite thing in the tiny house when I thought this was going to be like my favorite thing ever. But we just can't get it going. Once it gets going, it's rolling. Like that fire gets going and it really keeps everything super warm in here. But the downside is that we get a lot of smoke that comes in here. So we haven't figured out exactly where that smoke's coming from, but I got this stove from Tractor Supply. Wasn't the high-end model by any means. Maybe that's where my issue is. We think maybe if we put another pipe up top, that'll help create a draft for all of the smoke to go up. But for some reason, we just can't get this stove to stop spewing smoke on the inside. Everything's all cleaned up on the piping. There's no leaks or anything else like that. I think there might be a seal problem with this, but if you guys have any suggestions, I would gladly take anything you got because we're trying to throw pretty much everything we got at it to try and make it work. So like I said before, this is the wood for the plywood that we got to go up into the lofts. I do have 2x6s coming. They're free from my dad. It's just a matter of me getting them. Once I get those up here, I'll be able to start working on the loft. So that'll be a nice plus for here, get some stuff off the ground. Clear a little bit more walking space down here. Right here over in this corner. So this over here is what I'm going to frame in, and that's where the bathroom's going to be. So I want to do a gravity fed shower and kind of have it that way. It's not going to be the greatest, but at least get the dirt off you, that kind of stuff. And then over here on this side, we have the electrical box that we put in. That's where all the power comes through for this cabin. But I want to make like a closet over there so that we can put jackets and miscellaneous stuff over in there as well. So we'll take a look in the panel here real quick just so you can take a look at it. So it's pretty simple. There's only 4 switches. We have a main that comes in, and then we have the 2 loft areas and then the overhead light. So not too terrible, pretty easy, but we have everything coming in through here, and then it heads out right there. And then outside we use a generator to run everything. So if we don't have any current power coming in all the time, everything runs off of a generator. So one thing I did try and do was put a little bit of foam down here because there was a little bit of light coming through. The big thing that we had at our camper years ago was mice. Mice were coming in and it was a huge pain. So that was pretty much the main reason of why I wanted to elevate this tiny house so that it's up off the ground and that there's no mice. The cabin was left alone over the summer and there were no mice at all, no bugs, everything was great. So hopefully we can keep it that way. I really appreciate everybody's input and the encouragement of keeping this going. It means a lot to me, and I'm really happy that you guys have come on this journey of me building this tiny house. And I'm going to try and put out as many videos as I can this summer, trying to just make it have some improvements in there. The next thing is the loft. After that, I just want to insulate everything. But if you guys have anything or any thoughts of like how I can make this better, I really am open to any kind of suggestions that you guys have. So please let me know in the comments. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.